So I've got a new customer here that I'm taking on in lawn care. So new customer, new weeds here. This customer had not had anyone previously spray in this yard, so I just wanted to document a few weeds that we're seeing this time of year in lawns that are not treated. So I'll first start out with saying that I'm still spraying my winter pre-emergent, which is a pre-emergent that's going to prevent spring and summer weeds from popping up a few months from now. But I have a post-emergent product in there as well that's going to help knock out a lot of these weeds, which I will start with henbit and purple dead nettle. So here we have two, or both of those, excuse me. So this is henbit. It just produces a purple flower, and just like any other broadleaf weed, it's wider than it is long, and it has net-like veins on the back of the leaf. But henbit is more, I don't know how to describe it, it's more of a fluffy type weed. Purple dead nettle looks very similar, but its leaves are more droopy. Its leaves just droop downward to the ground. So here's a better example. This is purple dead nettle, where the leaves kind of droop down. This is henbit. Henbit is just more of a clumpy type flower, whereas purple dead nettle flowers, purple dead nettle leaves are more flat, I guess you could say. So purple dead nettle, henbit. They're confused to be one another all the time because they both produce a purple flower. The next weed I want to point out is hairy bittercress, which is what this is. Now you'll start seeing more hairy bittercress as spring comes. It starts growing in the winter, but it'll hang out all spring long, but it produces this white seed head that just explodes whenever you walk across it, or even when the wind blows. This seed head will just explode and just blow everywhere. So this particular weed here spreads very easily. All of the weeds that I'm talking about right now can be killed with any broadleaf weed herbicide. So hairy bittercress here is also a broadleaf weed. Here's more hairy bittercress. And when the wind catches it, like I said, it just blows those seed heads everywhere. Now, I have a broadleaf weed product, broadleaf weed herbicide product that I have mixed in with my pre-emergent that's going to take care of all of these broadleaf weeds that you see here. So we just have tons of different types of broadleaf weeds that I can't even name, that I should be able to name, but I can't. So all of these weeds back here are broadleaf weeds. So the vessel that I have mixed up in my tank, which is like a 2,4-D type product, again, is a broadleaf weed herbicide. It'll take care of all these weeds. So the type of grass that we have here in the backyard is zoysia, and as the growing season comes back around, this zoysia is going to take off. It'll thicken up. It grows decently in the shade. Of course, we got a shaded backyard here, but zoysia typically only needs about 4 hours of direct sunlight for it to do well. And in the middle of the summer, we should get 4 hours of sunlight. So as the growing season comes back around this spring and summer, combined with the fertilizer that I'm going to be putting out, this zoysia here should start to pop. Now, it's not going to help holes like this in the yard, but overall this grass should start looking fine once my broadleaf weed herbicides take out all these weeds. So let me take you to the front yard. The front yard has a blend of zoysia and Bermuda. This is zoysia that I'm walking on right now, and the Bermuda starts right there. You can kind of see the line right there of where the zoysia stops and the Bermuda begins. But we don't have as many broadleaf weeds in the front, but we have a ton of poa. So poana, it's a winter weed, but if you see poa, it's a result of not having a good fall pre-emergent done. So This is early stage poana. So all these green clumps right here, this is kind of the early stage poana. Now, I say early stage because later in its life, probably within just a couple of weeks, this poana is going to start producing a seed head, which is kind of a white, fuzzy flower on top of it. So I mentioned POA, so we put out a really good fall pre-emergent to prevent poana. So I don't really put anything out this time of year for POA because it's naturally knocked out by warm temperatures. So I'm just gonna kind of let the POA do its thing, and then as spring and summer come and warm temperatures hit, the POA is just gonna naturally die off by itself. And the longer this customer is on service with me, you know, they're going to stick around until next fall, and they'll get my fall pre-emergent. So next winter, they're not going to see as much poana in their yard. So all of this green that you see here, that's all POA. And then we have some ground cover broadleaf weeds. I think this might be oxalis here because it produces this little yellow flower. But this is just a low-lying broadleaf weed. And my Vessel, my 2,4-D broadleaf weed herbicide product will help knock this out as well. So even though this is low lying and it's too low for a lawnmower to pick up, it should die off over time since I'm going to spray it with my spray mix. And it's also getting that winter pre-emergent, so they're going to have less spring and summer weeds. I'm spraying a product called Resolute, which is the same thing as perdiamine, and that's going to prevent crabgrass and other nasty summertime weeds that are going to be trying to emerge a few months from now. Here's more of that hairy bittercress broadleaf weed that's going to get knocked out with my mix. But I just wanted to kind of document this yard and what a new customer looks like for me that has not been treated previously by any company. So there's no telling what kind of weeds you could see in a new yard. But this time of year, we're in mid-February, we're starting to see POA, henbit, purple dead nettle, hairy bittercress. So let me know in the comment section if you're seeing those weeds and what you're putting on it to help knock those weeds out. Thank you for watching.